Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today I'll be showing you how to do the full service on the Haldex rear differential, also known as a 4-motion system. That means it's all-wheel drive. This is Mk1 Volkswagen Tiguan. They offered this body style between the years of 2009 and 2018. It has a TSI 2.0 turbo engine. If you know a little bit more about these, it has a CCTA engine code. What this service includes is a fluid and filter exchange. So let's get started. You guys already know I always try to use the least amount of tools possible because not everybody has everything. So starting off, I have a flathead screwdriver, a small 90-degree pick, a long 3/8 drive ratchet, a long 1/4-inch ratchet, a small 1/4-inch ratchet, a 3/8 drive 8mm Allen. These are all 1/4-inch drive. This one's going to be a 5mm Allen. Both of these are 4mm Allen. That one's a stubby and that one's a long one. And then various pliers. You will also need some kind of fluid pump or syringe. You're going to need a scan tool to set the fluid level. It doesn't need to be as fancy as this one. It just needs to be able to read the rear differential. You're also going to need a floor jack and 4 jack stands. You will need some kind of container to catch the dirty fluid and new fluid. As far as parts, I bought my kit from FCP Euro and it has everything you need. So starting off, we have the fluid right here, the high performance oil for all-wheel drive coupling, and then it's got the Borg Warner filter and new cap, and the cap has a seal on it. You've got your filler plug, 2 new bolts for this cap, and then you've got your drain plug. Hey, if you guys could do me a huge favor real quick, go hit that subscribe button for me. I'd really appreciate it. Starting off, we want to get all 4 wheels off the ground, and to do that, we're going to use the floor jack, and we're going to put all 4 corners of the vehicle on jack stands, and make sure they're all set at the same height because we want the vehicle to be level when we check the fluid level. It has to be level. Looking at the rear diff, this is going to be our drain plug, and this is our fill plug. So I have my 1/4-inch ratchet with a 5mm Allen socket. So you're going to go ahead and break that free and remove that plug. There shouldn't be much that comes out of that. So now I've got my plug removed and nothing came out. That is completely normal. I have my 3/8 ratchet with a 8mm Allen. I've got it on the drain plug, so I'm going to go ahead and take that drain plug out, and that's when all the fluid's going to come out. So you want to be ready to catch it in some kind of container. And this fluid is very unique. So this is the original fluid in this car. This car has 120,000 miles, and that fluid still looks new, but it does need replaced. Take your new drain plug, go ahead and put that in and tighten it down. Looking towards the back on the passenger side of the rear differential, this is going to be your pump right here, and right above that pump is the cap right there. Now on camera it may seem like it's really hard to get to, but there's actually a lot of room. It's just hard to get a good camera angle on it. So right there is the cap, and there's going to be a bolt on the top and a bolt on the bottom. So you're going to take both of those bolts out. You're going to remove that cap. You might need to take a screwdriver and kind of pry it out of there. And then behind that cap is the filter, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to take a flathead screwdriver or maybe some pliers and pull that filter out. So looking at the cap, I now have the lower bolt and the top bolt out. So if I take my flathead screwdriver, there's a good spot where I can get the corner of it right there on the cap. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a little bit of pressure, and that cap's going to pop off. Be ready for some fluid to come out. You don't want to get it in your face. So once I took the cap off, the piece that actually has the seal that keeps the fluid in the rear differential stayed in the rear differential. So I'm going to have to take some pliers and grab this piece out of the rear differential. And that's what that piece looks like. So I'm going to have to grab that knob right there and wiggle that out of there. Once I wiggle that out, that's when the fluid is going to come out. And the way I'm going to attempt to do this is I'm going to take some pliers and I'm going to grab it and I'm going to leverage and then try to pull that out. So once I got that out, now you can see the filter is down in there. And this is what it looks like once it's removed. And as we can see, both of these caps are identical. But there is one issue that I ran into. This kit that I purchased, the white portion right here is actually different. So you can see that right there. That one's very thin and this one's much thicker. So what I'm gonna end up doing is reusing this. I ended up cutting this nipple off because it was all damaged from pulling on it. I just took some dikes and cut that off. That's gonna be okay, because all that really does is kind of center it up, but this fits in there really, really snug. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end up taking this white one off because I wanna use this new aluminum cap. I'm going to transfer this O-ring right here. I haven't decided yet. It's either gonna be on the inside or the outside, but I'm gonna at least use one new O-ring on here. And then I'm gonna put this and the new cap back in. So I couldn't get my fingers in there to pull the filter out. So what I ended up doing was grabbing a small 90-degree pick, and I just grabbed it barely right there and pulled it out. So right now I have the old filter on the right and the new one on the left. So you can see that this one looks new and it's white, and this one's old and black. And there's also a bunch of debris on the bottom end. Go ahead and dip your bottle upside down real quick. Take the cap off. And just dab your finger right there, and then you're gonna lube this up right here on the filter. So there's an O-ring right there. So I ended up transferring the white piece and also the O-ring. I took it off of this and swapped it to this one. I ended up putting it on the outside, the side that has the nipple that I cut off. I feel like that side sees outside weather and oil, so it just has a tough life. So I ended up putting it on that one. So what we do now is we flip this upside down. Go ahead and make sure both of those are lubed up, both those O-rings right there. And then we're gonna take this filter, snap it down in just like that. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna feed the filter back in. So right now I'm feeding it back up in there. And you're gonna push that until it's as flush as you can get it. And then you're gonna put your cap on with your new bolts, and you're gonna tighten those down, and that should push it in any further. So now I've got my cap on, and putting those bolts in and running them in by hand did pull the filter the rest of the way in. So now I'm gonna fill my pump, and the way to do that is to put this down in the fluid and pull the handle, and it's gonna pull all the fluid into this canister. Once there's fluid in this canister, I'm gonna take it to the rear differential, and then I'm gonna pump it up into the fill port right here until it starts coming out. Once it starts coming out, I'm gonna put my plug back in and snug it down. So once the fluid started coming out, I put my drain plug in and snugged it down. I'd say it took about 3/4 of a quart. Go ahead and hook up your scan tool to the OBD port and turn the key on. Select the vehicle, it's a Volkswagen. System selection. Number 22, all-wheel control. Read data stream. And then Haldex oil temperature. So right now we're at 69.8 degrees Fahrenheit. So we want to check this between 68 and 104 degrees Fahrenheit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the car, and I'm going to bring it up to about 75. So go ahead and start the car. Put it in drive. And because we have all four wheels off the ground, we can let off the brake. and now all 4 wheels are spinning. So what that's going to do is that's going to heat up the fluid inside that rear differential. So on this scan tool, the values are not very smooth, and it actually is bouncing in between 68 and 71. It's not like a progressive value. So here in a second, we should see this bounce between 71 and, I don't know, 73 or 74. So right there, it's starting to bounce. So we're slowly climbing. All right, so we've reached 75, which is a number I'm comfortable with. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna lightly press the brake pedal until the wheels stop. Go ahead and put it in park. And shut the engine off. Go ahead and remove your filler plug one more time and top that fluid off again until fluid starts coming out. Put the drain plug back in and tighten it all the way down. After you tighten it down, clean off all that residual oil on that side and then on this side. And that's it, not much to it. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video. Please hit that subscribe button, it'd really help out. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.